Good evening and welcome to Yarmouth Frame and Gallery's Gallery Conversations. Tonight we're with Marcia Feller. She is extraordinaire. You do color collections in Falmouth. She owns a nice woman's high-end clothing store there. You do triathlons, you travel, you get up at 5 and kayak, so we might be here all night with Marcia, but let's start one at a time. And I would really love to talk about the paintings. And this, you said you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
This is called 5 a.m. from the kayak at Coots Island. My husband and I and about 20 close friends all spend the third week of June in Stonington together, and that week is carved in stone. And somehow, most years, it's a magical week. We seem to have really good weather reliably every year. And while at each day we might decide when we're going to go out based on the tides, one day it's 5 a.m. in the kayaks on the water to catch that morning light, and we all go out and everybody's got cameras, rain or shine. Some years we actually go out at 5 a.m. in the rain, and the light is also amazing. So this is Coots Island, and Coots Island sits in a little cove. As you're leaving our house, the house that we rent, it's my house for 1 week, you pass this little archipelago of islands, Grog, Bold, Devil. And in the center of it is this little island called Coots.
Nice.
And the sun was coming up behind, and the growth on this painting was this incredible shade of red.
Wow.
And every one of us who was there, I think there were probably 15 kayaks that morning, we all were shooting this island. What was fascinating was an hour and a half later when we came back by on our way in, this was all green again. So the red was just a function of whatever was going on in the leaves and whatever was going on in the light at that point. And a good friend of mine who actually bought a large print of this from me went out to Coots Island to see it after he got it. And he said, but the leaves were green. I said, I know. And he made me show him the photo because he didn't believe it.
It's
hard to believe that it actually, really, an hour later is all green again. So it was just, and that's the beauty of, as most artists know, of that early morning light.
Well, and this is another Stonington triptych that we should talk about, because this actually you had in a gallery in Chelsea.
In New York.
In New York.
This is the end of the day. Usually we'll go out, most days get onto the water by 8:30 or 9, and then go from island to island in our kayaks, and we paddle and eat and take pictures and paddle and eat on the islands. And but this is coming back in. So this is Stonington Harbor. If anybody knows Stonington, we're coming in right just before where the harbor comes in and all the lobster boats tie up. People can anchor on the Opera House. So the Opera House is here. And basically this is pretty much what it looks like I would say probably around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're coming back in. And I just love the coastal little Maine villages, and I love what's going on in the islands. And
you can kind of tell that it's early summer because of the palette of green that you use.
The other thing that goes on in Stonington and all the Maine coastal peninsulas is the third week of June, everything is in bloom.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So the irises are in bloom, the lupins are in bloom, the hydrangeas are already in bloom. It's just a sea of color, and then the sea of color in the water. So it's hard. It's like we've been spending this third week in June probably for 15 years now.
Oh my gosh!
And
never get tired of it.
And thankfully, I have a lot of photographs to work with because I paint mostly in my studio in the wintertime.
Well, that's cameras around your neck all year long.
Right.
When you see something, it's right there for you. Now you paint with acrylic.
I paint with acrylic. It's challenging because it dries so fast. I use a lot of mediums. I do a lot of layering. I do a lot of glazing, and I do a lot of changing my mind. Painting doesn't come easy for me. So oftentimes what I start painting becomes something totally different. The one down on the end, the one down on the middle, and the seashore. And it's under there somewhere. And at first I I kept changing. I kind of originally liked the sailboat with the mast going right up straight through it, and that was the last thing to go. So the first thing to change, it went from the church on the hillside to back into the coastline, the working waterfront. And then I still had the sailboat, and eventually I just said, no, it's not about that. And it just had a mind of its own. It didn't want to be the other painting. That happens to me a lot.
Well, you paint big too. They're, you know, like your personality. There's nothing small. Nothing small there at all. But the buildings, you know, everything has just got this really quaintness about it. And I think the word I hear is that, you know, with your work, it's happy and it's joyful.
Well, that's about
the reflection.
The place. That's about the place.
The color.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yes. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us tonight? I mean, you just got back from Paris.
Oh, they were so good, those guys. You know, you're pretty excited about, you know, your own progress as an artist, and then you go into the Musée d'Orsay and you see Monet and Manet and Cézanne and Van Gogh, and you think, oh my God, where do I even begin?
Now, was it for painting or was it for clothing?
This was for my 60th, this was the last thing on my bucket list for my 65th birthday year.
Perfect.
So, and I had never been to Paris, and I went to see water lilies. It was do not pass go, and so it was everything I hoped it would be.
So
and I understand why artists need to be there, and I've sort of identified a neighborhood now, Babylon Sevres, the street, and I need to go back there and paint sometime. Anybody want to come? Anybody want to come?
I want to come.
So no, it's but you can travel around the world. I think that one of the things that's so nice about your gallery is you just get to see so many ways, incredible artists that you have in the gallery. Paint name.
Yes.
And I mean, we have a tapestry here, you can travel to Paris, but we have a tapestry here regardless of the season.
Really
it is unlike any place else, and you know, it's the subject is endless.
Yeah, it really is.
And I'm so thrilled to be here with the other artists.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here too.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you. Did you get the sigh?